My dear students of 11th Medical, and today in your botany we are going to take up the anatomy of Dicotyledones and Monocotyledons leaf. And this is the vertical section of a dicot leaf, which we are going to discuss in detail, and this is the vertical section of a monocot leaf, which we are going to discuss. Though there is not much difference between the dicot, internal structure of the dicot and the monocot leaves. And now the dicot leaf, also called as the dorsiventral leaf. Dorsiventral because it is having a clear cut dorsal face and a ventral face, which are distinguishable. When we view a vertical section of a dorsiventral leaf through the lamina, it reveals three main parts: the epidermis, mesophyll, and the vascular system. The epidermis, as you already know, covers the upper surface, that is the adaxial epidermis, and the lower surface, also known as abaxial epidermis, with both having conspicuous cuticle. Cuticle, you must know, a waxy layer that is meant for the protection and protective purposes of the internal tissues, and also prevents the loss of water through the leaf surface, and having another function of it protects the plants and the leaves in particular from different types of pests. The number of stomata on the abaxial epidermis is more than, that is the lower surface of the leaf, or is more than the adaxial epidermis, that is the upper surface. That means the number of stomata on the lower surface of the leaf are greater than those on the adaxial or the upper epidermis. Even the adaxial or upper epidermis may even lack stomata. That means no stomata may be found in certain cases or in certain species in the adaxial epidermis. And this is the outermost layer, which is pinkish in color, and it is the adaxial epidermis when viewing a vertical section under a microscope, and this is the abaxial epidermis, a lower face, which is tan and pink, and this is the stoma. And now the mesophyll. The tissue between the upper and the lower epidermis is called as the mesophyll. It possesses chloroplasts and carry out photosynthesis. That means the mesophyll is meant for carrying out the photosynthesis, and it is made up of parenchyma. A parenchyma has two types of cells: the palisade parenchyma and the spongy parenchyma. And this is the palisade mesophyll here, which are rich in the chloroplasts. This palisade mesophyll is rich in the chloroplasts, and this on the lower side is the spongy mesophyll with larger intercellular spaces and air cavities rather, which makes it spongy. And the mesophyll, is meant for carrying out the photosynthesis. And the adaxially placed palisade parenchyma is made up of elongated cells, that is on the upper face, which are arranged vertically and parallel to each other. Again, you may have the view. This is it. This is the palisade mesophyll with parallel cells, which are arranged vertically and parallel to each other. And now The oval or the round and loosely arranged spongy parenchyma is situated below the palisade cells and extends to the lower epidermis. And there are numerous large spaces and air cavities between these cells, that is, this spongy type of mesophyll. And now the vascular system. The vascular system, it includes vascular bundles seen in veins and especially midrib. The size of the vascular bundles are dependent on the size of the venous. That is, the greater the size of the venous, more elaborated and larger sized vascular bundles there will be. The veins vary in thickness in the reticulate venation of dicot leaves, and the vascular bundles are surrounded by a layer of thick-walled bundle sheath cells. This is the vascular bundle. Here stand blue, and in the center these rings are pinkish, stand pink, and this is the xylem and phloem respectively, covered over by the bundle sheath cells in a ring shape. And now the isobilateral or monocotyledonous leaf. Though there is no much difference between the dicot and the monocotyledonous leaf, or anatomy of the dicot and the monocot leaf, but there are certain characteristic features which differentiate dicot leaves and monocot leaves, and we say that anatomy of the monocot leaf is like that of the dorsiventral leaf in many ways, but there are certain differences. In an isobilateral means having both the surfaces similar. In an isobilateral leaf, the stomata are present on both the surfaces of the epidermis, and mesophyll is not differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. That means here, in case of monocot leaves, the mesophyll is not differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. In grasses, certain adaxial epidermal cells along the veins modify themselves into large, empty, colorless cells, which are known as or called as the bulliform cells. When bulliform cells in the leaves have absorbed water and are turgid, the leaf surface is exposed. When they are flaccid due to water stress, this makes the leaves curl inwards to minimize water loss. The pearl venation in the monocot leaves have similar sized vascular bundles except in man veins. Because of the pearl venation, the veins are somewhat similar in case of monocotyledonous leaf. Thanks. Have a nice day.